Donald Trump, a man who has perfected the art of lying daily with a straight face, wants everyone to know. He swears that he has not suffered a series of mini strokes. In fact, he has repeated that multiple times. And it first kind of started on Twitter following some new details from a book that's being published by Michael Schmidt. In the book, there is a portion that talks about Trump's random visit to the Walter Reed Military Hospital last fall. That was not a scheduled visit. Many people speculated following that visit. In reporting for this book, Schmidt says, I learned that in the hours leading up to Trump's trip to the hospital, word went out in the West Wing for the Vice President, Mike Pence, to be on standby to take over the powers of the presidency temporarily if Trump had to undergo a procedure that would require him to go under through anesthesia. And so Pence responded in a way that I think is, just pay close attention to his wording. Because if you're the vice president and you are pulled aside and told, hey, just stand by because the president might undergo surgery, that's something you'd remember, right? But here's how Pence handled this new information coming to light.
Other candidate from another party. This refers to Michael Schmidt's book where he says the president went to Walter Reed, which in fact happened in November of last year. He says in the book that you were put on alert to take control, to take office essentially, if he went under for anesthesia. Is that true?
President Donald Trump is in excellent health. And Brett, I'm always informed of the president's movements, and whether it was on that day or any other day, I'm informed. But there was nothing out of the ordinary about that moment or that day, and I just refer any other questions to the White House physician.
But as far as being on standby,
I don't recall being told to be on standby. I was informed that the president had a doctor's appointment, and I
don't want to spend too much time on it, but I just want to.
Yeah, I got to tell you, part of this job is you're always on standby as your vice president of the United States. But the American people can be confident that this president is in remarkable good health, and every single day I see that energy in high relief.
Okay, so let me go ahead and just simplify the message that we got there. Vice President Mike Pence was told to be on standby. That's what happened.
But he sort of almost denied it. I don't recall. He also, did you get the way he pronounced that? Like, I want to do a version of it. I'm in the studio right now by myself. Anna, ask me if I've stolen anything from the studio.
Have you stolen anything from the studio?
I haven't stolen anything. Like, you weren't on standby, so you were on something else like standby, and you think that you can weasel out, but you're not that good of a weasel. That's all it is. He was on standby, which is totally fine, and apparently the tradition. Like, just admit it, you weirdos, you damn weirdos, just admit the truth for once.
So all of this led to Donald Trump defending himself, defending his health, and he came out with this weird tweet that got people talking, right? So let me read it to you. He says, "It never ends. Now they're trying to say that your favorite president, me." Okay, let's just stop already. Let's stop already, because we gotta let's talk about that. Who says that? Who says that? I'm gonna start every show from now by saying, this is your favorite host, me, Anna Kasparian. Like, who talks like that? Normal people don't talk like that. He's insane.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. I just had to go off on that. Your favorite president, me, went to Walter Reed Medical Center having suffered a series of mini strokes. Never happened to this candidate. Fake news. Perhaps they are referring to another candidate from another party. Okay. And so what is he referring to? What is he responding to? Like, look, you gotta understand, like, most people like read that and they're like, oh, did you suffer from a series of mini strokes, right? Because like, where did that come from? And it turns out that he was actually responding to a Clinton White House official. He was the press secretary, Joe Lockhart, who was on CNN and is on CNN as a contributor. And he had tweeted, did Donald Trump have a stroke which he is hiding from the American public. Look, he asks it in a form of a question, but clearly it's meant to speculate, right? And so I guess that's what Trump was responding to. But I guess well played, Lockhart, because now everyone's like, oh, did Trump suffer from strokes? Right? Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. I just think that Trump panicking like this is telling.
Yeah, and panic, look, you can panic, I guess, but when you panic and add information, that's suspicious. Like if somebody wrote like a wildly irresponsible speculative tweet that said, does he have an STD? And he was like, no, I don't have extremely inflamed genital warts. That's extra. That's not what he had said. It's like the thing where in a movie, every killer reveals they're the killer by adding something to the story. And then the other person's like, but I hadn't said it was in the cemetery.
Right.
It's like you're a comic book idiot. That's what you are.
And so now the Trump camp is furious and they feel that Joe Lockhart should be fired from CNN, which by the way, I actually agree with them on that, but not for the reasons that they're mentioning. How about stop hiring like former administration officials or former politicians and like do what CNN purports to do, which is the news. Like how about hire some investigative journalists and people who are trained in journalism to work for a cable news network. Anyway, but here's a Trump campaign statement. CNN should fire Joe Lockhart for knowingly pushing a conspiracy theory about President Trump's health. If another CNN employee said similar things about Barack Obama, they'd be fired immediately. So the same standard should be applied here. That is, of course, unless CNN is complicit in the smear campaign in order to level the playing field against Joe Biden, somebody who truly has lost a step. Like it's amazing, right? Because, okay, let's talk about double standards. Let's talk about the fact that the Trump campaign is crying and whining about speculation about Trump's health, when in 2016, we heard nonstop about Hillary Clinton's so-called terminal illness, which got news for you, she's still around. And here's some evidence of Trump's rhetoric in regarding her health. Before we go to that clip, did you want to say something, John?
Yeah, well, I mean, just to be fair, a significant portion of the country does not think that she's still around. They think that this is a body double or something like that. Just to be fair, the QAnon people don't generally believe that she's actually alive, but continue.
Let's not be fair to them. Let's just let's not. Anyway, but yeah, here's Trump from 2016.
She has been a disaster. But here's a woman. She's supposed to fight all of these different things. And she can't make it 15 feet to her car. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. She's home resting right now. She's getting ready for her next speech, which is going to be about 15 minutes, and it's going to be in 2 or 3 days. Folks, we need stamina. We need energy.
That is a statement from Trump in 2016. I just want to note that just recently Trump made a statement about how people are unable to lift bricks because they're so heavy. So they're using cans of soup to throw at cops, which I don't even know if that's true, but yeah.
I don't. The only thing that I know is true is that sometimes I wish I had a can of soup handy. Listening to that, yeah. I mean, look, yes, and he was not the only one. I mean, if he really wants everyone who spread conspiracy theories about Hillary Clinton's health to be canceled, that's going to be a lot of Fox hosts and all of that. And it is weird that they went from the RNC of, why are people losing their jobs for saying something people don't like to, I want to fire this guy and that guy and that guy. Everybody's got to be fired. Yeah. Huge proponent of cancel culture is Donald Trump. And then here's the thing, they force you into a crazy position where it didn't matter. Whatever Hillary Clinton had going on or didn't have going on didn't matter. It had nothing to do with whether she'd become president or not. If Trump had a series of mini strokes, which based on what he has said, I am now sure he did, it doesn't matter, it doesn't stop him from becoming president or whatever. But now we suddenly have to say, why do you have trouble raising a glass? Why did you almost fall off of something while you were walking a few days ago? Why do you have so much trouble walking down ramps? Why is there video of you weirdly dragging one of your legs? All of these things we're then forced to ask because he makes it such a big thing. And again, at the end of the day, none of it matters whether he had the strokes or not. I know that people like feel good to spread that stuff, I suppose. It doesn't give him any less power over our lives or over the economy or anything. But he's making me wonder.
No, that's the most accurate commentary I've heard about this story, and you're absolutely right.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.